Okay, so as we already covered, like installation of PyCharm and Python and how to create a project. So to the continuation, I'm taking the some of the programs today. Okay, so the very first example, I just want to tell you, like basically some of the two numbers will start with that. Okay, likewise we'll cover some set of programs so that you can understand. Okay, so I'm going to be creating a new Python file, so where you will you know that, so right click on the project name and take the new and then select the Python file. So this is the procedure to create a new Python file in the Python project. So right click on the project, again I'm repeating, new, and then you have to select the Python file. Okay, so where you have to give your name. Let's take, I'm taking the sum as a name. Okay, so it will give you the sum of the two numbers I'm doing here, if you observe. So let's take, see here. Yeah, so the file is created. Now as we already discussed in the previous classes, we have two types of statements, that is output statement called print and input statement called input. So these are used to basically perform the input and output printing. Okay, so now as part of some of these two numbers, first of all I will write a simple comment here. Okay, so this is some program. Okay, the other, this is sum of two numbers. Okay, so if you observe that whatever I written is called comment. Why? Because it will be hidden part, it won't be executed. Okay, and now I want to read the two values from the keyboard. So a equal to, we can write input of, enter a value. Okay, and similarly we can take b is equal to input of enter b value. But as I already explained to you, like by default input statement will give you in the form of string format, so you require to typecast into integer or the number format. So for that we have different typecast functions. Out of the one of that is int of. So to make conversion, we will use the int to int of. Similarly, float of, str of, we have different set of inbuilt functions to typecast from one data type to another data type. So here int is used to convert the string to integer. Okay, now a b's are integer, so now I'm taking c is equal to a plus b. So that means we are adding the both the values a and b, and we are storing in the c. So here if you observe that I use the operators, two operators as of now I use. One is equal, another one plus. So equal operator is technically called as assignment operator, and plus operator is nothing but arithmetic operator. Okay, now finally I'm printing the output. So print, let's take sum is equal to comma c. So in print statement the concatenation operator will be comma. Okay, so comma will concatenate value with string as like C language. Okay, so now if I want to run this program, we have two options. One of the option is you can just click on play button here if you observe that, or else right click on the program. You can the same option you can able to hear also. Okay, so both the ways you can run the program. It gives the same output. Once you click on the run button, you have a rerun and as well as stop button and a debug option also there. In upcoming classes I will explain what you mean by debug and why it is useful for mostly developers, that I will explain in the upcoming classes. But till the point, if you want to stop the execution, this button you can use. If you want to rerun the code, you can use this one. Okay, and now if you observe here, see the program is executed successfully, and as I mentioned, it is interpreter based language. That means if you have any error in the any line, it will show that error and you will stop the execution. We'll see that also in the next same example. We'll do some kind of experiments. And now I'm showing enter the value, I'm taking as an 10 now, and enter the b value, let's take, I'm giving 20. So now if you see the sum is given as a 10 plus 20, that is 30. Okay, let's take, see if I'm giving like this. Okay, let's take in the b I given a wrong. Okay, assume that, just I'm telling. See here is showing b equal to int of input. See the bracket was never closed, the open bracket never closed is showing, and line number 3 is showing, and stop that execution. It is not going further execution, like line number 5 or 6 doesn't execute. So this is the basic idea of the what do we call interpreter. Like example, What do you mean by it's a rental? Let's take example. You did one more mistake. Let's take example. You missed equal here. Okay, it is also mistake basically. Okay, I'm just running the program again. See, but still it stopped with line number 3. It doesn't scan the line number 5. But though we have a error, it is not showing the error to you because it is a purely interpreter based language. So it's line by line execute. See, once I will close this properly. Now you see if I'm running, it will show the line number 5 the error. See that. C A plus B invalid syntax. Line number 5 is coming. So that is a pure example, or I can say that proof of interpretation. Like Python is following interpreter, it does not follow the compiler. That's why, like if you have the more errors in the program also, it won't show all the errors at a time. It will show the one error by another one. So once you fix the first error, then only it will scan the remaining code and it will go for showcasing the errors. Okay. So that is the one of the, I can say, advantage and drawback, both the ways we can think about it. Okay. But this is a simple way of creating and executing the program in Python. Okay. So if anybody have any doubt till the program or execution creation anything, please let me know. I will repeat. Otherwise, I will go to the second program. Does anyone have any doubt till this point? Hello. So now you can speak up. You don't require to pay money for speaking, right? So you can speak and you can either at least message so that I can understand whether you are following or not, or whether you are able to understand or not. Can anyone? Otherwise, it will be instead of this class, we can go for recording class, right? If one man showcase, okay. So just for that interaction only, we are doing this one.
Yes, I know that.
Okay, great. So I'm going to creating another program. Now I want to do the average of, let's take 3 float numbers. I mean to say 3 decimal numbers. Okay. So I want to read the 3 decimal values and I want to do the average of them. Okay. That is what I want to do that. So again, right click on the project, new, and we have to go for Python file. So I'm taking average as a file name. So here I want to read the 3 values, but I want to convert them into float. Okay, it's not like int. Just before in the example, we converted into integer, which is in the sum. But now I want to convert into float. What it means if you want to read a decimal values, how to handle that, I'm going to be trying to explain this program. So now here I'm taking, let's take 3 values as a v1 first value. So here, as I mentioned already, to convert the input into respective format, we have to use the respective casting function, that is float of. So now we can use float of input of enter value 1. Okay. Similarly, we can read the totally 3 values to perform the average. Okay. So now the first one V1 and second one I'm considering as a V2 and the third one considering as a V3. Similarly, value 2 and value 3. And now I'm reading the 3 values totally from the keyboard, that is V1, V2, V3. Okay. So now if I want to do the average, obviously you know sum of the values by number of the values. Like example, ABC is equal to, I can write V1 plus V2 plus V3. So this will give you the sum of the 3 numbers and we want average, so that I'm writing by 3. See here again, average, whether you want to in the decimal or integer, again your choice. If you want to in the decimal, single by you can use. If you want integer, you can use the double by. Okay. So I will show you that also. Let's take print average is equal to comma, let's take average. Okay. So now I'm going to be running this program. Okay. So now it will ask you the 3 values. Let's take 10, 20 and 30. So now you see it is giving average equal to 20.0 because 10 plus 20 plus 30 by 3 is 20. And also you can rerun the program again. See, let's take I'm giving 2.5 one value, 3.5 and the second one 6 I'm giving. So now it's giving 4.0. Okay. Likewise, see, if you're using the float, it is not restricted to integers. Float can accept the both integers as well as decimals. But internally, it will take integer as a decimal by pointing 0. Like example, if you entered here, take example value 3, I entered 6, but internally it will consider as a 6.0. That's why you are getting 4.0. But I don't want to decimal values. Assume that, let's take, I'm getting the value something like 5.3, 6.2, let's take 3.2. Now you are getting 4 point dot 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 something, right? Let's take, I don't want to these all decimals, I just want to 4 only. That means rounded to integer. Now you can use double by. Okay, so now just rerun the program. I will give the same kind of inputs: 5.3, 3.2, let's take 2.4. Now you see you're getting 3.0. So that means, so what it will do by the double by, what it's making, it is converting into round up to the decimal values like that. Okay, and it depends on your interest, like whether you want to round to other values also. Yes, we can do. There is an option called round up. See, always to give you the, okay, we'll change to another value: 8.3, 9.5, 2. So now you say 6.3. Every time it will give you integer. But if I'm giving only single slash, say here, so you can give 9.5, 8.2, 4.6. Now you see you are giving 7.44. That means it is giving long length decimals. Okay. So there is an option called round also, which will round up to number of decimals also. We'll cover in the future, like mathematical functions we have. But the idea here is two things. One is like, see here we use the by operator, and also we are converting into decimals. Okay, so this is the second program which we used for arithmetic operators. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please ask me till the point. Any doubt? Is it my voice is audible to you, or shall I speak little loudly? Okay, so I'm going for third example, where I will work with static and dynamic values. Okay, let's take example. I want to find the area and perimeter of the circle. Okay, let's take example. I want to take the radius of the circle, and I want to find the area and perimeter. Okay, so I'm taking an example of circle. So where what I want to define the multiple comments here. So this program meant for okay, area and perimeter of circle. And the second point here, input is, okay, input is radius of, radius of the circle. So input radius, output is area and perimeter. So this is the output and input for this particular program. Okay. So likewise, you can describe your program more detailedly so that other people who are using your program or who are trying to understand your program, they can easily understand. Okay. That is the idea of this particular comment section. Okay. So now you all people know that the formula for the area is equal to pi r square, right? So you know that, right? Pi r square. So let's take pi I'm taking and r square. So this is the, I mean to say, pi r square, right? Can go for cap square, okay? Pi r square. And similarly, perimeter value is pi into 2 pi r, I mean to say, so 2 pi r, okay? So this is the formulas for that. But here, if you observe that the pi value, whatever we are using in these formulas, that is purely constant value, okay? So means pi value is not given by the end user. So pi value we have to take as a fixed value in the program itself. But whereas R value will be dynamically, we have to take from the keyboard, for which user wants to find the area and what I can say, the perimeter. Okay. So that is what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, so the first one, I'm taking pi as a constant. So to indicate 3.14, okay. So to indicate something is a constant in Python, we'll indicate it is a caps letter. So if I'm writing something in the uppercase, all letters in uppercase, so by looking that we can understand it is a constant, okay. So pi here is a constant. So I'm writing a simple comment. So pi is constant, C-O-N, constant, okay, which is equal to 22/7. So this is the basically pi value. So that is fixed value. I'm not giving option to reading from the keyboard. But whereas R value, that is radius, I'm taking from the keyboard. Like again, radius might be sometimes it is integer, sometimes it might be decimals like float values. So that's why I'm taking float of input of enter radius. Okay, so now the system will instruct to the user to enter the some value for the radius. Okay, so once he enter the value, that will be stored in the a variable called radius, and that we will use for our area and perimeter calculation. So now finally area is equal to pi r square, right? So pi into r into r, one way of writing of pi r square. The another way is pi double star 2. This is also work for radius. I mean to say it's not r, radius, right? Yeah, radius. So here if you observe that the radius double star 2 is indicating radius square, that is r square, and pi star means pi into. So pi r square we are getting. So like this, wherever you require a power functionality, you can use double star operator. Okay, and now the another one is perimeter. Perimeter is equal to 2 pi r, right? So 2 star pi star r. So this is the another variable. So now I store the two values in the two variables. One is area and perimeter. Now I want to print the both the values at a time. So for that, how I'm writing, you see print. First one I'm taking. Sorry, p is equal to I'm writing now. So capital P is equal to comma. Where I'm writing perimeter, comma, and space, A is equal to comma area. So that means the concatenation, you can combine any number of strings based on your what do you call requirement, I can say that. Okay, so now here I concatenated totally two strings and two values. So all together will print in the single line here. Okay, but if you feel something like complicated like this, yes, you can divide also, like I'm writing that also. See, print plus take p is equal to, you can write comma equal to perimeter, sorry, yeah, perimeter. Similarly, you can write print a is equal to comma area. So both the ways you can use either this way or this way, it's not a problem. But only difference here, we have to write the two lines. Here we can write the only one line is enough. Okay, so now I'm executing this program. So I'm giving some radius, let's take 2.5 I'm giving. So your output will be like, see that. So in the first output, line number 14 output will be looks like this one. Okay, like p is equal to 15.70001 and a equal to 19.625. And if you see same values, we are printing again in line number 16 and 17. So that will be two line statements. Okay, but though you return the two lines, but I want to print in the same line, yes, that option also we have. Like instead of here, you can use and equal to just empty space. Now what happened, you know, the same two print lines, line number 16 and 17 will come to single line now. Now you see, will print in the single line. Like here you can give what you call here and equal to space, maybe space you can give, so that it will come the space between the two things. Let's take 3 I'm giving, yeah, see that. So likewise you can print in the same line. It depends. See, again I'm telling, right, the print statement can customizable on your requirement and on your need basis. So however you require, you can customize like that. You can use this particular print statement in the output. Okay, but ultimately the print is used to print output on the console. Similarly, input is used to read the input from the keyboard. and the input value you require to convert into respective data formats, like example int, float, or string, or list, whatever the type you require, you have to typecast them. So this is all about what you call reading the values and display the output. And also one more point I explained in this program, if you observe that constant, like if you want to define some constant in the program, that means you don't want to read the value from the user, you just want to fix the value within the program, then we can define that as a constant value by using as similar to pi equal to 3.14. Okay, so values can be statically defined program itself, or you can read from the program also. So any doubts till this third program? So if you have any doubt, please raise your voice and you can ask me. So that you will clarify more clearly if you clear your doubts. Otherwise, I will go to the next program. So please confirm whether you clear this program or not. All of you. Okay, great. Okay, I hope everyone clear this program. Okay, so now I'm going to the another program now. So new Python 5. So I'm taking the next example. Okay, let's take, I'm taking rectangle. Okay, so just these are all basic examples, Nanas, to make you understand the fundamentals of Python, like input statement, output statement, operators. This basic to understand. But really, these programs doesn't impact any interview, or does not. They may not ask any interview. Okay, but this will make you to clear the basics. The next class onwards, whatever the examples we may cover, that is really important for your even interviews or career also. Okay, but these are all fundamental examples. Okay. So now rectangle means, as you already know, so it has two sides, one is length and breadth. So here also I want to find area and perimeter. So area will be L into B, that is length and breadth, and perimeter will be 2 into L plus B, that is 2L plus B. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to finding here. So let's take L is equal to, I'm taking int of input of. So why I'm taking int means there's no rules, just to convert number format, that's it. Okay, but if you want really convert into float, yes, you can take it, but it's based on the input what we are expecting. So that only define the whether you want to use the int or float, but it does not define the float generally. Okay, so enter length, but still, see, for example, one of you may feel it, no, I just maybe sometimes we may enter decimals also as part of length. Yes, you can take float, there's no rule like that. Okay, so be equal to int of, sorry, of input of enter the breadth. Okay, so now I'm taking a is equal to, as I mentioned, 2 into, yeah, sorry, a means L into B, length and breadth, and after that perimeter is equal to 2 into open bracket L plus B. So here also one more point you require to understand. So when you want to multiply, or when you want to divide something whole to the whole value, you should provide that all expression into the brackets. Otherwise what happened, so 2 into L plus B, if I'm writing directly, so it will apply for only L, it does not apply to the B. So to avoid such kind of mistakes, properly you can maintain the block structures, that is brackets. Okay, so here 2 star L plus B means it is 2 into L plus 2 into B. Okay, so now finally I'm printing the values. So print, so here again same way, area is equal to comma A, and here print query. Okay, I'm writing perimeter is equal to this shortcut, I'm writing P. Okay, so now I'm running this program. So length I'm giving 20 and breadth 30. So 20 into 30 is the area 600, and 2 into 30 plus 50, that is 100. So likewise you can find the area and perimeter. So please try to understand the program. If you have any doubts, please ask. So any doubts as of now?
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
So
sir. No, sir. It's clear.
yeah, so now let's take example. I want to do the a kind of work on strings. Assume that now we worked on integer and float, right? So now let's take an example of strings. There is a simple example I will take first. Let's take example. I want to read the first name and last name, and I want to print the full name. That is by simply concatenating first name and last name, and I want to print as a full name. That is what I want to do. That is a simple example. Then maybe we can do other examples also, but still to make it simply, I'm taking full name. Okay, yeah, so first I'm taking first name, F name is equal to input of enter plus take first name. Okay, so now remember, you don't require to convert into any format because the input itself will give you the by default string format. So directly you can store in the variable called fname and lname. You don't require to typecast into string externally. Okay, but where you require to externally typecast, I will tell you that example also. So now we require full name. So full name is equal to, you know, right, fname plus space and plus lname. So this indicating full name. So what I'm doing here, F name plus space plus L name means the plus here it is concatenating, like you remember, you know, right? So plus is acting as a dual role. One is summation. I mean that when you are using the numbers, it will act as a sum. Like 2 plus 2 will give you 4, 2.2 plus 3.2 will give you 4.5. That means when you are providing float values or numbers, integer numbers, it will do the sum of the respective two values, which may be float or which might be int. But the same plus, if you provide in between the two strings, the same plus will act as a concatenation operator and will concatenate the values. So now the same I applied here. So now if I'm printing the full name, let's take print, I'm writing welcome to comma, let's take full name I'm writing. So now what happened, it will give you the full name of the respective program. So run full name I'm giving, you see. So first name, let's take, I'm giving Satish, and the last name I'm giving Kumar. So now the expected output is welcome to Satish Kumar. So likewise, you can concatenate the two or more strings in a single statement or expression. So the concatenation will happen by simply using the plus operator only. Any doubt as of now? But remember, in print statement, if you want to concatenate, we'll use the comma. But in outside, if you want to concatenate, we'll use the plus. To make you clear the difference only, mainly I highlighted this line number 3 and 4. In line number 3 and line number 4, both happen concatenation only. But only difference within the print, if you are concatenating, you cannot use plus, you have to use the comma. But outside the print, if you want to concatenate, you should use plus instead of comma. So that difference you have to remember. Otherwise, it will show you an error. Like example, if you written plus here, see, again I'm running the same program. Let's take Satish Kumar. So now you see whatever. Hey, it's working fine. So even plus is also working with the string plus string concatenation, the print itself also. But here, let's take example. I'm giving a number. Okay. Let's take val is equal to, I'm taking 10. So now I'm taking val here. Let's take example I'm giving. Now rerun it. Two more. Yes, now it's getting error. Yeah. So see, string plus string anyway we concatenated, right? Like first of all, I just want to clarify that. So what happened, so plus when I'm using plus, it is simply taking as a, again it is a string and string first concatenated internally, the final string will be printed here. Okay. But when I'm using the same statement, like I'm putting this again and the same line I'm writing, see, let's take now what happened here, it is string, right? But here I'm writing val. So when you want to concatenate a string with value, we can't use the plus directly. If I'm giving the plus, it will show an error. So that's why we are using comma. Okay, you now see it doesn't show any error. Let's take example. I'm giving SS KK. Now you see it doesn't show any error. But no, I want to use plus only here. Let's take. I don't want to use the comma. I want to use the plus. But is there any option? Yes, we have. In that case, you require to typecast this value into string, because a string can be concatenated with another string, but a string cannot be concatenated with a integer value. So now to do that, we have an option str. This is the typecasting into string. So now that's the reason str given into the scope of the Python. So str is an inbuilt function which will convert numerical value into string format internally, but externally it looks like value only, but internally it is convert the format. Let's take example. You see here I'm giving, let's take KKPP. Now you see val 20 came. It doesn't show any other. So this is also important and a point to understand. Like whenever you want to concatenate a string with a numerical value, before concatenation, you require to typecast that numerical value into string format. That is important point. And when you are trying to concatenate a string with a string, straight away you can use the plus operator. Don't require to typecast into any other formats. So is this 2 points clear for everyone in the with respect to strings? And please, I'm again repeating.
Clear.
Yeah, again I'm repeating. Without practice, just by listening or just by watching, you cannot understand programming language. So once you complete this class, please try to practice these all examples. And also today, after sharing along with the video, I will also share the one task list, which consists of 15 basic programs similar to this only, like basic arithmetic operators program. So please try to complete this 15 by tomorrow, so that you may clear all the concepts by tomorrow itself. It is easy for you to make it clear. Okay. And as I mentioned, right, I will start the conditional statement. So one step ahead I'm moving. So before that only, if you clear the practice, so you may ask the doubts or it may clear for you. But if I'm going 5 to 10 classes, but still you are somewhere in the operators practice, it is not really good for you to understand the Python. So whenever the class completed, the day itself you have to complete the practice. That is always best habit. Okay. So tomorrow also I am only taking for the Python itself, as I mentioned, right, conditional. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I will continue the conditional statements with different examples also. So that is the plan of this week, because last week I didn't take any class on the Python. So this week I will compassionate. So that's why this week completely I'm taking the classes for you. Tomorrow also there is a class. Okay. And now come back to the next program. So till the point we covered int, float and string data reading and handling with the different values. Okay. So now there is another simple example, but it is commonly used in the task in interviews also. That is swapping of two numbers. Okay. So basically swapping means converting or exchanging the value from one variable to another variable basically. So this we can achieve in two ways basically, with using third variable, without using third variable. First option I'm showing with using third variable. So that means it's an easy approach. So let's take example. I'm taking a equal to 10, okay, and now b equal to 20. First of all, I'm printing that before swapping, okay, print before swapping a equal to a comma and sorry and b is equal to b. Just I'm printing the a and b values before actual operation. So now just I just want to check, I mean that cross check that whether it's working fine or not. So now see a equal to 10, b equal to 20, printed fine. Now what is my expectation? A value should be moved to the b and b value should be moved to the a. That means swapping of a to b, b to a. So now for that I'm taking a variable called c. First I'm storing a into c. So what happened? Now a value will be there in the c as well as a. Now I'm taking b equal to c equal to a. Now I'm taking a equal to b. Now what happened? You see, b value is moved to a. Now a is contained b value. There is no doubt at all. Now if you want to see the comments, see now what happened? C contains, okay, 10 because a is moved to, and a also contain 10 till the point, and b is contain 20 after this operation, okay. Now you see ash, I mean to the comment. Now what happened? C I didn't touch, so still it is 10 only. A, yes, I stored b value into a. So what is the b value in the first step? It is 20. Now a will be replaced with 20 and b still it is 20 only because b I didn't touch in the line. And now finally b equal to c. Now what happened? C still it will be 10 only, there is no doubt. And now a I didn't touch in this line, so the above will be carry forward, a equal to 20. The finally b will be now replaced with c. C, what is the c value? 10. So now b value will be 10. So now after swapping I'm printing. So my swapping is completed. So now the same line after swapping I'm printing. So read on the program. Now you see, initially before swapping a equal to 10, b equal to 20, but after swapping you see a equal to 20, b equal to 10. The values vice versa exchanged. So this is a simple program for swapping of two numbers, okay. But it is a very simple straightforward, but most of the interview will ask you without using third variable basically. So it is we use the extra variable for c, right? So unwantedly it's a memory wastage. So now some people will want to same swapping without using third variable, okay. So that is what I'm trying to explain now, okay. Now so without using third variable. So now what I'm doing, same program, see first one. So there is no need of first of all c because we should not use, that is the idea of the without using. Now what I'm doing, a equal to I'm doing a plus b, okay. So what happened now, if you see anybody, a equal to a plus b. What is the a value? 10. What is the b value? 20. Now a plus b means now a will be storing into 30 and now b still it is the original value. So what is the b value? 20. So this is the first line we have to execute without using third value. Now b is equal to, you should write a minus b. See, I'm not using c anyway. I'm using only a b's combinations only. Now again a value, I'm not changing anything here. So a value still 30, but b I'm updating here. If you see, b equal to a minus b. What is the a value in the above line? It is 30. What is the b value here? 20. So 30 minus 20, what is that? 10. So now b value will be 10. Now finally again a equal to, write a minus b only. That's it, your logic completed. Now you see a is updating to a minus b. What is the a value now? 30. What is the b value? 10. So a minus b means 30 minus 10, that is 20, and b will be remain same, that is 10. So now again you can run the program, you can able to see the output of the both the logic. See, this is the first logic, that is with using third variable, where you can find a equal to 10, b equal 20, a equal 20, b equal exchanged. Now you see The second approach without using third variable. So here also a equal to b20 exchange to b a20 b10. So that means the same output we can achieve in two approaches, without using third variable, with using third variable. But most of the industries, I mean that interviews, they will ask without using third variable, that is second approach. So please try to practice the second approach rather than the first one, but still you should practice the first also without knowing that somebody asks you suddenly, you may practice it. So both the approaches you have to practice for interview. Okay. So this is about swapping of two values. So please try to understand the program. I will give you 1 or 2 minutes for the understanding from your side. So if you really understand both the approaches, that's why I even written the outcome of the each line of execution. So you may clearly understand that how it is swapping. If still really you didn't understand, please feel free to ask me. I will explain that. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Great. Remaining people, are you following? Okay. So we'll go for next program. So let's take, I want to find the simple interest, very SI, that is simple interest. As you know the formula, PTR by 100, the same I'm using. So here what I want to do, so let's take, I want to find the simple interest and I want to display the simple interest for given amount. Okay. So for that I'm taking three values, that is P means principal amount and T means time in years and R means rate of interest. So that all values I'm taking, first of all, like here also I'm taking float of input of enter value. Okay. And now T is equal to float of input of enter years. And then finally R is equal to float of input of enter rate. So now finally I want to find the interest. So interest equal to T star or PTR by 100. As I mentioned, to whole we want to divide the value. So make it bracket for PTR instead of only by R by 100. And now print the I value. So print interest. So interest is equal to I value. If you want to print the whole amount, so then print amount is equal to, so you have to print the both P plus I, because P is the principal and I is the interest. He has to pay completely P plus I amount back to the vendor. Okay. So now I'm running this program. Let's take, I'm giving 5,000 and yes 2 years and rate of interest, let's take 9%. So now see, The interest for the 5,000 for 2 years is 900, and the total amount he has to pay back to the vendor is 5,900, because 5,000 is the loan amount and 900 is the interest. So 5 plus 900 is the 5,900. So likewise, we can calculate the values. Okay. So any doubt in this program? Okay. So I'm going for next program where I'm just calculating the number of units consumed from the previous to present. Okay, number of units. So what I'm trying to do, first I'm taking the present reading. Okay, so please input of enter present reading, like maybe it may be applicable for water bill or electricity bill or any bills basically calculated based on the previous and present reading. Okay, so enter present reading, and now I'm taking previous reading because the previous will be taken care of units. So input of enter previous reading. Okay, so now finally the number of units consumed is nothing but present minus previous, obviously. So because let's take example, last month you consumed 150 units, now this month it is showing 200 units. So it is indicating that 200 minus 150, that is 50 units you consumed in this month. It's not like that the meter is showing 200, so you consume 200. It's not like that. The previous, present minus previous, that will give you the always the number of units. So now print number of units you consumed. Okay, so comma n. So likewise we can use the bill calculations. Any bill programs will do likewise. Okay, let's take I'm giving 200 present reading and past reading I'm giving 150. So the number of units he consumed is 50. So we have to pay the bill for this particular 50 units now. Any doubt as of now, all of you? So these are all the different programs which we covered today are based on the arithmetic operators and assignment operators only. Okay, so it does not include any condition operators, because tomorrow, as I mentioned, right, first I will explain the syntax for conditional statement, like how we will write the if and if else and else if ladder at all, and then I will try to explain different examples on if else by using your conditional operators like relational, logical, and instance, and as well as we have what the other one, membership operator, right? That all combinations will use tomorrow. Okay, so this is the last program for today class. So if anyone have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can sign off the class for today, and tomorrow we can meet by 6:30. So if anyone have any doubt, please ask. Okay, so I hope nobody have any doubt.
Yeah. Hello.
Is it clear, everybody?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's not a doubt.
I can hear, Amma. Tell me.
It's not a doubt. Instead of using Python creating this P1 files, why you not using Jupyter Notebook?
Can you repeat once again?
Instead of using Python creating this PY files, why you are not using Jupyter Notebook? That could be very useful.
Yeah, see, as I mentioned, right, like we have multiple editors like Python, Jupyter Editor, and Spider, and as well as like Visual Studio Code, Notepad++. So these are the different types of editors. So it depends on our choice. So just I'm habituated with Python, that's why I'm using. But it's not the rule that we should use only Python. You can go for any of the editor. The program is common every place. The only difference, the environment of the editor. That's it. Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, is it necessary to call you sir?
No need. You can call me Satish.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, you can call me Satish or bro or any, whatever you convenient. You can call me. I don't really what you call the interested to call me sir. Okay. Anything is okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other doubts? Any last minute questions? Okay. Have a great weekend. Bye bye. Take care.